Cancel. Okay. There's nobody here yet. Fortunately, so I'm just going to aim you at the ceiling. While we go over here. And get to my channel. Channel. We'll be with you guys in a minute.
Yes?
Not you.
Oh.
Streaming.
Oh, my apologies.
Come on. Connect. Damn it. All right, well, while I am waiting for that to connect, good morning, hello. Relax the microphone. Excuse us, we still have some junk in our throat. And we also weren't quite ready when the thing decided to say, hi, oh, start the stream now. It's like, no, we want to pause, but then it had already started it, so you get to watch us wander around the house vaguely, or at least get a good look at our ceiling. So we're going to set you down for a minute. Yes, I know we're cutting back on sugar. I don't really care at the moment. There. I'm going to put you in our pocket real quick, so hang on. Okay. Teapot, sugar, spoon. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Okay, let us get you guys set up on. Yes, rotate device. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see here. Sorry, guys. Naomi, good. Hopefully you won't have to sloof off or shuffle off to Buffalo. Let's see. Top chat. Live chat. Wait a minute. What? Super chat? Just going to do live chat. I'm not even sure what the heck a super chat is. Excuse us if we clear our throats here. Like I said, the stream kind of started before we were ready. So you get to witness the setting up process, as it were. It does not look straight, but I know it is. As long as it looks straight to you, that's what matters. Okay. Go up just a titch. There. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, I think. Yes, good. Okay. Let's see. First, as usual, sound check. Please give us just let us know if you can hear us, okay? While I wait for my thing to reconnect. Please don't give me issues today. Okay, there we go. I think. All right, look, would it help if I put you at a lower resolution? Can I put you at a lower resolution? Settings. There we go. Swap you over to Data Saver and see if that does the trick. Okay, hopefully. Wow, is there that much lag on this today? Give me a sec. I'm trying to get the tablet to connect so I can look at the chat without having to go right in there, but it's giving me serious grief here. So I'm just going to close that out. Feel free to talk in amongst yourselves. I have to see what the heck is eating it here. Let's just try reconnecting Wi-Fi. Yeah, so sorry. Like I said, we're a little misled. Okay, what is with this? This is going to just drive me nuts. Sorry. Get to move your point of view here again. That way. Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's see if we can get our tablet to cooperate now. Maybe. Okay, let's try this again. Bump. So how is everybody this morning? I'm sure you probably are starting to fill each other in, etc., etc. I'm just going to leave that on because no matter what I do with it, it's going to look like it's off. Hopefully everybody's doing all right. Yeah, this thing is just not going to cooperate with me, I don't think. Maybe. Okay, well, at least it popped up right on front of my current live streams. Thank you. Okay. I think we're actually caught up here. Or at least everything's working. Chat filter, top chat, all messages, please. Now, of course, it's going to buffer on me. Come on, there we go. Yes, no. Yes, okay. We're going to go ahead and start anyway, and, well, we're already started. Excuse us if we medicate in the morning, so. Morning for us, probably not more, well, morning, evening, whatnot for you guys. All right, so I'm not sure why, but our Wi-Fi keeps connecting. So hopefully we won't have to bend forward and look at the camera. So, okay, let's see who's here. Oxy, hello, always the first on, aren't you? First. Okay, yeah, we need to tilt that down just a little bit. Yes, I know, we're obsessively butting the camera. There. Okay. Yeah, it'll do. Hopefully it won't do that zoom in and out thing. Okay, so Oxy, we have the Never Wonder System. Hello, good to see you. It says hello again. How are y'all doing? Were you on our last stream? Probably. If not, hello. We're doing well if we can remember like last week. Let's see, Blue Rose, Esme, Naomi. Yes, hello, Naomi. I hope things are going better. Please let us know if, you know, if you're comfortable doing that. If not, you know, because we all care about you here. So do let us know. Hopefully you can stay around this time. Let's see here, folks. Woo house tour. Not much of it. I'm more like our ceiling tour. Maybe someday when it's actually worth showing off. Unfortunately, the house is like over 20 years old, so it's like the carpets are not in good shape, and we just haven't been able to afford to replace them. You know, it's like I've redone or bootstraps, I should say, has redone the kitchen floor, redone the kitchen cabinets, redone the bathroom floors, but it's at that stage where we just really need to rip out the carpet and the rest of the house and put down hardwood. But then, of course, there's, having the money to actually be able to do that. And the fact that, doing flooring was never Bootstrap's favorite task as it was, and he's not all that thrilled about having to do it again. But, pinch a penny, save a dollar. So there's that. So not really a house tour, but just kind of our dusty ceilings there. Okay, so let's see here. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Sad Doggo, good to see you again. Blue Rose, hello. Esme, yay, got some of the regular folks here. Pia, welcome, good to see you. EMC, remember to like the stream. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's see, Oxy saying, I love the chaotic beginning. Feels like home. Yeah, we're actually a little more chaotic than normal today. We're just out of it. We like to have everything neat and so before we go on for you guys. And also, okay, it looks like the lighting is much better this time around. You're looking at like literally the only clean part of the studio right now is this back wall, because we've had the whole thing in a hullabaloo because we're getting ready to shoot the next little stories, and we do that against a green screen, which we've got against one wall. And we actually just got a new one that's 10 by 20 feet long because the 10 by 12 just wasn't cutting it. So we were futzing with getting everything set up, but otherwise you would have been looking at just green. So, but yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see. Stephen LaRoche, hey, welcome. Or Stefan? Stephen? We're going to go until you correct us. Don't remember. Not sure what O/ means. Fill us in on that. Let's see here. EMC is saying Super Chat is when chatters donate money to you specifically. Oh, okay. I think we had, I think it was Mark that did that once. That was a while ago. Anyway. KS is the norm for all as me. Okay, you guys can hear me. Clean audio. Yes. Okay. Naomi saying, to be honest, feel like a crappy piece of shit failure. You are not. Okay. Don't let that negative talk get put into your head, because there's enough of it in the world out there. And we are going to scroll just a little bit. I'm sure you guys are probably already responding back. Starry Girl, I see you there. Okay, good. We can catch up with people today. Okay, let's see here. Blue Rose, let's see. See, all are kicking. Yep, still kicking. Appearance, NYF. NYF, not sure what NYF means. But no, you're not a failure, as Blue Rose is saying. Let's see, Sad Doggo also is saying to Naomi can relate on feeling like poo. Don't know if it's just me or get sick around solstice. I think she's more referring to an emotional down type of thing, but maybe I'm brain go bye-bye. Speech center go bye-bye. Yeah, we're just going to let that part go. Let's see, Stephen's finally getting our teeth in on Wednesday. It's been nearly a year. Grats, teeth. Dental issues are no fun. We've got plenty of them. And we're chicken shit about it. When we go in for anything more than a cleaning, we have to be sedated. You're going to yank out teeth, put us out because of trauma and things, Well, I think we've talked about that before. Let's see here. Never Wonder System, not too bad. New Mexico heat got us super fatigued. Yeah, it is. It's warming up here in the desert southwest corner of the United States. It's actually the early summer's been pretty mild though compared to recent years. Much more moisture too. We'll have to see how it shakes out. I mean, Colorado's getting deluged right now, so. Let's see here. Take care of all y'all matter even on bad days. Thank you very much. Or to Naomi, either way. We'll take that as general all around. All of you matter even on bad days, especially on bad days. Let's see. Folks saying the week has been kind of shit. For us, it's kind of been stable-ish. Starry Girl, long time no see. Everyone, there you are. How are you doing? Good to see you. Where are you at with the plan? We'll scroll down since you probably already told us. Let's see. Doing good. Currently in the car going on vacation. You go, girl. For sure. Have some fun. Let's see. Never Wonder System. Yeah, we were here last time, but kiddos came crashing in, so we missed the last bit. And they always lurking. Laugh out loud. Never Wonder System says, yeah, feel free to lurk, folks who like to lurk. Participation is not required. Just throw us on in the background if you care to, and do chores or whatever. Draw, read, paint. Mock us with cruel, sarcastic comments behind our backs. Alas, no. We're just teasing. Bit of a smart ass today. Let's see. So, yes, Starry Girl. Hopefully the plans are progressing. Keep working at it little by little. Okay, you're not driving. That's good. Let's see. Tay, hello. Good to see you, Tay. Okay, Oxy. Starry Girl makes, yeah, everybody loves to go on vacation. Yearly thinks we're wondering if it's partly somatic with the around the solstice. Yeah, it very well could be, Sad Doggo. That's not uncommon at all for ups and downs to happen in around, major, I don't want to say holidays, but landmarks during the year. I mean, holidays obviously are the biggest culprit. But yeah, you'd be surprised just something that you used to do can trigger those feelings, those chaos moments. Let's see here. He really thinks so. Yeah, it could be partly somatic. Absolutely. Stargirl, vacation is nice. Been working nonstop for like a year. Yep. Let's see. Tay, may I ask about how to cope with feeling like a large system, even though there are only 11 of us? Feel like I'm stuck in some kind of denial purgatory. Was so used to being a system of 4 to be a system of 11 is like a step too far for me. How to cope with feeling like a large system, even though that's kind of an interesting question. We never really thought about it that way, but we do get what you're going at. See, for us, it's kind of odd because we grew up together, as we've stated before, so there really wasn't that clear. We considered ourselves to be one being because we didn't know any better. We thought that everybody else had voices in their heads that you would talk to and argue with and hold full-on conversations, and who would never shut up or give you a moment's peace or rest. So with our journey, we started out kind of schmooshed, and we've been separating into more individual traits and whatnot, where most folks kind of do it in reverse. Could you have a reverse thing? I don't know, I guess. But when we really first started therapy, and our therapist told us that it's the most common amount of alters or members in a system is generally right around a dozen. And that tracked for us, although we've had more come forward as time goes on. But initially, there was really only me, Data, and Christopher. And then the rest kind of followed in after that. But Data and I have always been, there's not a whole hell of a lot of separation, at least from my point of view. Family members and the therapists, whatnot, have said, oh yeah, we can tell. And it's like, okay, take your word on that. And Christopher, of course, he was always hiding in the void, the black pit in the center of our soul, crying. Fortunately, he doesn't live there anymore. He's in the Glade with Arielana. So, coming back to your question, every time that another of us does come forward, i.e. Julie, most recently, it does feel it's like, is there no end to it? And this is, nobody's ever really asked why we call ourselves the entropy system, but here's basically why: because there seems to be no end of this shit. No end of the circumstances, no end of the traumas. It's like, so it was kind of a wry, sarcastic thing when we were picking out our system name. But we do get it, because it's that feeling like, God, when is it going to stop? It's when is it going to stop? How far down does this go? At least we think that's what you're referring to. So hopefully, maybe some of the others can chime in and have some thoughts on that. Let's see here. So Tay, hopefully, Hopefully that's what you're talking about, maybe. Let's see here. Sad Doggo, Oxymoron is talking to Sad Doggo. I have no memories of nothing, but keep noticing that things get strange around certain dates. Yeah, just get you thinking. Yeah, exactly. And listen to those little cues because they may be cluing you into a dramatic or traumatic event at that particular point in time. Okay, so let's see here. Sad Doggo at Tay. Was that a pretty big change pretty quick? Our system has always been big, but we found out about them over time. Yeah. Let's see. Never Wonder System at Tay. We understand the struggle. We are polyfrag and turning 44 on Wednesday. Happy birthday. Uh, we still have our days. Yeah, absolutely. It's a never-ending battle. And that's one of the things that we think kind of that we've seen people get tripped up on is as human beings, we tend to think of things in linear terms. There's a start and there's an end, and it's a gradation along the way. This is I'm mentally ill, and this is I'm functioning. And it doesn't work that way neatly from point to point. It's more of a glob, 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 glob. I'm good this day, really good this day. Oh my God, we're having flashbacks, and we're in for a 3-day stay in bed marathon type of a thing, trying to self-care and recover. So you have to kind of break that linear mindset, that black and white on a scale type of a thing. And we know that that's part of mental illness as it is. Oh, when the tablet just cut out on me again. Okay, so let's see. So let's see. I was so used to being. Hang on here. I got lost. Okay, so let's see here. Starry Girl, currently it's taken a back seat of sorts. I don't feel mentally ready or in some way stable enough to move out. Fair enough. That's valid. Okay, come on here. Is the signal really that shit in here? Apparently. Okay, we may have to lean forward into the camera to get your comments here before long because this thing is just completely frozen up on me. Let's see, but catch up on what we can. So Starry Girl, yeah, just keep plugging away at it as you can. A little bit, just don't lose that momentum. Keep your eye on the ball. Okay, yeah, please check my network connection. No shit. Okay, let's see here. Wow, we just totally made a jump here. Let's see. Tay was saying it wasn't a quick change. They've always been there, but I've only been able to accept 4 of us until now for DID-based therapy. Yeah, just just buckle up and let loose that control. We get you. Let's see, Naomi. After losing the 4th job in less than 2 years on May 1st, hey, I know that sounds terrible, but for someone like me, that's pretty good. Us, Let's see, after losing the 4th job in less than 2 years on May 1st, I still haven't been able to find another job. Now I got the government confirmation and recognition. I got temporary 40% medical disability. Congrats. I know that's not a lot, but still something is there. And you've got the government recognition and confirmation. So you have a data point, a point and arrow in your quiver, as it was, for the next time that your significant other, your husband, or the family members that you were talking about last time start coming down on you. Oh, this doesn't. You can just simply hold it up and say, well, the government here happens to disagree. This is valid, so I am valid. So, I bite my thumb at thee, to use the the Shakespearean expression. Oh, hey, and we're back. Okay. Let's see here. But Naomi girl, give yourself credit. You're too hard on yourself. And 100% disability to work, but I'm still under hubby's threat. So yeah, I understand. But like we just said, now you've got official arrows into your quiver. So, and for the rest of you guys, this is why official diagnoses are so important when you can get them. We know. So let's see. Well, at least that's a positive movement, Naomi. At least it's a positive thing. It's forward progress. I just, really wish that you could kind of take your hubby and go, hello, she needs your support, not your, Anyway, we don't want to get too far into that. It's personal stuff for you. So just from the outside looking in, keep with it. We care about you. You know, folks in the chat do as well. We worry when you don't show up. I'm not sure why it's hiding that comment. We're going to go ahead and show it. Yes, I know that. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, Tay, I've been keeping it, having more than 4 parts under wraps from family and friends and family for months now, and I almost feel like a lying liar. No, you don't have to feel like a lying liar. It's your damn business. It's all y'all's damn business in there, and you don't have to say any more or less than you don't want to. Simple as that. This was something that they went into in the 80s. We lived through the whole New Age movement. Well, I mean, it never really went away, but we lived through the height of it. And one of the things that they honed in on, or was a general consensus teaching at that point in time, was the idea of personal power. And actually, this came from the Carlos Castaneda's series of books, The Teachings of Hello Data, The Teachings of Don Juan, A Yaqui Way of Knowledge, and the other ones that went on from there. The idea of personal power as an expendable amount of energy that you can use, and when you sublimate yourself to a situation or another person, and you just basically, well, that's okay with me, or you're giving away your personal power. And one of the main steps towards the self-actualization that Don Juan actually talks about later, but we're not going to get into that because it's like a 6-book series, and those books will turn your head and inside out and upside down. Every time that we've read those, something weird happens in our lives. But anyway, they talk about the concept of personal power and how you shouldn't give that away to others. So by feeling guilty that you haven't revealed all of you to whoever that you've already revealed before to, that's giving away your personal power, and you absolutely have the right to keep that or hold it back. We think that this later on kind of coalesced into the whole spoon theory or fork theory, which is very common with chronic pain. The idea is that you only have a set amount of energy per day to deal with things. So you only have like 5 spoons. Some days you have 5 spoons. Some days you have 20 spoons. Sometimes you don't have any spoons at all to give anyone. So when you're giving out one of those forks or spoons, or you're giving away your energy on something, you're giving away your personal power. So I hope you can see the distinction there. But yeah, reminds me very strongly of that. So don't feel like a lying liar. Feel like somebody who can do what they damn well please with their own mind and their own condition. You don't have to volunteer information, It's okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Sad Doggo at Tay. My main thought with this is when it comes to denial, it really does get easier with time. Our host used to be in pain with it, but he's just incredible now. A pain with it, but he's just incredible now. Yeah, and trauma doesn't lie. There's that wall. Okay, so let's see. Tay, yes, the when is it going to stop? That perfectly describes the feeling. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, absolutely. We get it. Sometimes it may be difficult to put into words, but yeah, there's so much that NTs just will pick up on, or I'm sorry, neurodivergence. Us will pick up on it. Systems will pick up on it like that. But a neurotypical or an NT would be standing there going, I'm trying really hard, but they're just never going to get it because they can't experience it. But we love allies, so thank you for those of you who are allies, believe me, because it's hell. Let's see, thanks so much for the birthday wishes. Absolutely, happy birthday. Let's see, Blue Rose talking to Naomi. Hope you get some sense of relief with the disability, and maybe you have a little energy now to research help where you're at, and find you're able to take care of yourself in regards to your husband. And somebody has just hold up a thought for that, Naomi, in the background, who are saying, with the personal power, don't give your personal power away to your husband, and don't let see, in those type of situations, we're going to trot the line here for a second. In abusive situations, there often comes a point where the abuser is realizing that he is losing control over their victim, and as a result, they will begin to set up situations where it's like, if you don't do, or if you do this, I am going to do X. It's a feeling of control, and the surest way they hate losing that power over you. They hate seeing you independent. because it means that you've moved beyond them and they can no longer control you hook, line, and sinker the way that they've been doing this whole time. Now, obviously, in your case, Naomi, you've got others, i.e. children involved, so you can't, make as clean a break of it. But definitely, and we know that you're probably dealing with some cultural issues that we don't experience here in the West, but still, um, I guess what's coming from the background is don't be afraid to say no and be proud of yourself and to take those steps in yourself to go, no, what you're saying is not right. I'm going to work on helping myself. And if you're not comfortable with that, what the government has said that I have, then, you don't have to deal with it. But there it is. I'm going to because I don't have any other choice. And I would greatly appreciate your support on this so that I can get better and get back to functioning better, but any negativity or other stuff that you're putting on me, that you're spewing in my direction, is not going to help matters and is only going to lengthen the process. But they hate having their control cut like that, or when you start to rail against it. And Starry Girl, same thing goes for you. I think in that situation. So that's just somebody in the background pushed that thought up. So there it is. Not sure where it came from. It happens that way. Okay, so show. Let's see here. Yeah, energy. Take care of yourself and regard your husband. Absolutely. Let's see. Steven says we went from knowing there were 6 in our system to feel like there's at least 24 in here. Yeah. We try not to count anymore. And we're just taking it as it goes, but we're over a dozen. But we know that we strongly suspect that there's probably some more littles there that haven't. Like I said, we just got Julie, who is at the fringes knocking at the door currently. Not right now, this instant, but overall. But we're still trying to integrate John's trauma. So it's like, okay, girl, we get it. You're there. At least you're aware of us on a peripheral level, but just let us breathe before hitting us with flashbacks. Which of course we've had some anyway. But yeah, it's we try not to count anymore. But I think the last time we counted, we had 13 or 14 of us. Let's see, Tay is saying, by the way, as a comedic, I absolutely love your background and videos. Thank you very much. Yeah, we've always been fascinated with ancient cultures and ancient Egypt and previous civilizations. Yes, no, sorry, Data, you can go back. Can I be back in the front now, please? Thank you. Yeah, anyway, ancient Egypt stuff, comedic, we actually know what that means because, again, part of the New Age movement in the late 80s and early 90s. So, yeah, each object up here that you see on the wall here and in our recordings has a personal meaning to it, or a story or a thought or a person connected to it. So we put them up there, but yeah, it's we as you can tell, symmetry is very important to us, having things spaced exactly, and chaos drives us nuts. Unfortunately, you're only seeing what's like the smallest part of the wall. I'll tell you what, we'll actually get up here because the stupid Wi-Fi is going on and off, and we will actually give you a look at the full wall here. And you can see some of the green screen to the side here. We've literally got it right to the edge there, but that's the full wall with Buddha or Siddhartha there up the front, and our Tibetan singing bowl, and then underneath that the creamer from our grandparents. But yeah, you can see there, we don't have knickknacks for everything yet, but that's the full wall as it is, so you guys only see a portion of that. Oof. There we go. So, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're religious-wise, we've been all over the map, which makes only sense. But basically, one thing that's kept us from subscribing, and we're not talking about religion, but just like with the spirituals, and we always fit better with that end of the spectrum than the dogmatic religions. Okay, look, can I please get my signal back so I don't have to stare at the teeny tiny text on the camera? I hate this. Okay, so well, at least we've still got some comments here. Okay, Starry Girl saying that she's been doing a lot of reflection. I've realized that you're autistic, so I've been wrapping your head around that. Yeah, get in there for an eval on that, so they can get you on trying to find some medicine or something to help you, even just basic therapy. Yes, retry, please. I don't know what's going on with this. Usually this thing is like rock solid. Let's see here. Sad doggo. Job instability is very relatable. Had to fight for your sick day today. Burnout alone is killing me. If I can't call out when I need to, how is it supposed to? Yeah, not supposed to activate me. Yeah, you're caught in that in that crux there. Okay, let's try to reconnect this stupid thing one more time. Why are you going back to? Okay, we're gonna put you all the way down to 144p and see if that makes you happy. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get this to work. Chocho, no, please don't start that. He's still convinced that he should go out at over 100 degrees and roam around like a silly cat, and we keep telling him, no, this is not a good idea. All right, I tell you what if we turn that off? Turn it back on. Chocho. Sock in it, please. What? Yeah, I hear you. People 3 miles away hear you. Don't meow me. Meow. Settings. There. And no, they're going to put you down to 144. I don't care. Okay, are you going to be quiet now? No, thank you. Wait a minute. Is it the door? Now it craps out. I don't know if that's causing it or not. You gonna work for me, please? Thank you. Guess we're gonna have to leave the door open. Okay, we're back after cats and tablets and okay, I just saw you switch into 144. So can we close the door now? Hopefully. Okay, let's see, where were we? Okay, so let's see here. Sad doggo saying job instability is very relatable. Had to fight. Yeah, okay, that's where we were at. Let's see. Naomi says it's well more like he could use it like C. She really has brain fuck, so we need to take the kids from her. Yeah, please excuse the swearing. No, it's okay. You're entitled. We understand, and damn, we wish we could give you some solid advice to go there, but it sucks. It sucks. It really does. Okay, let's see here. Welcome to the club at Starry Girl Oxy saying, yeah, absolutely. Never Wonder Systems wants to know, do you find that it's easier to function as a system with some sort of schedule in place that allows everyone time, or does going with a daily flow work best? Well, you could not have asked a more timely question, at least for us in the system. We have our default mode for years and years and years has just been dealing with the chaos as it comes along. But this is also actually, believe it or not, tied with the trauma as well, because when you're constantly on guard, when you're constantly looking out for the next abuse to happen, like we've said in many of our videos, your stress response cycle, it gets permanently turned on, or permaturned on, basically, more or less. And so being on that high state of alert, you get used to it, I guess. And so that's more or less how, and you get caught in that anticipating the moods and reading the moods and reading the reactions of everyone around you. And it can be tough to pull back and separate yourself from that ingrained, perspective. Um, but we're trying, we operate much better on a schedule than we do just kind of floating around chaos. It's like in the night with DID, voices in my head, how we're just basically wandering from task to task, and you can tell I'm just freaking exhausted, but we're still pushing beyond. That's exactly where we spin into that loop. So we're trying to get ourselves onto a schedule. We've got kind of a rough internal one that we've been working off of, because even though we may rail against them a little bit, we know that we do better with a set schedule when we know what we can expect and prepare ourselves for it. But there's so many of us that we can't have something for everybody. There's just not enough time in one day if we do it in 1 hour chunks, which even that is under debate. Okay, because how much can you really get done in 1 hour? But so we're learning to do that, and we're just about to the point where we're going to sit down and try to graph out the week and get everything as together as we possibly can. So we will let you know how that works out for us, and if we ever actually get around to it, because there's everything else in life that interferes. Fortunately now, things have been settling into the new reality the past month, now that our son has moved out and is away in the other state now. Things are settling. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, Never Wonder System. Yeah, we feel you. Let's see. Blue Rose had my hours cut, but work is still hard for us. It's been draining. Adulting is hard. Yeah, it is. It is. Not, and sorry, you don't have any pithy wisdom there. Yeah, adulting sucks. Let's see. Never Wonder System. We struggle to get on the same page if we don't make a plan of sorts, and then end up dissociating, watching too much TikTok or other nonsense. Yeah, fortunately, we avoid social media other than our Instagram feed, because we don't have the time. And it's just, I don't know, we never really kind of connected with the whole social media mindset. Maybe the closest that we ever got was way back when on Facebook Messenger, but that was ages ago. That was back in the you've got mail, phase of technology. So, well, we hear you. Let's see here. Oxy saying they've been without a job for years now, been searching for something that we can cope with. If you're here, look into the Amazon Flex. It's a thing that we do. It's like Grubhub or DoorDash, but it's Amazon packages, and the pay's not that bad. Price of gas is outrageous right now, but yeah, you might want to look into that, Oxymoron. Let's see here. Never Wonder saying to Oxymoron, if y'all drive, we found success using delivery apps like Grubhub since we make our own hours and work alone. Yeah, it's exactly why we like it. We just want the price of gas to go down, so it'll be profitable. Let's see. Oxymoron saying to the Never Wonder, we struggle without a plan, but like you, some of us hate plans so much that we can never make one and stick to it. Yeah, that internal, that passive and active influence from the inside can be telling in that. Blue Rose is saying that they have a schedule with downtime included. Thank you. We need to schedule that as well, because otherwise we would have just simply scheduled all of the to-do stuff and completely forgotten about downtime. Thank you. Mental note to self. Never want to see, damned if we do, damned if we don't, just can't win. I think it's good to have a plan, as long as you don't remember, as long as you remember that to go with the flow, if nothing, something happens to disrupt it. Yeah, there's that linear thinking again. Giving some great advice there, sad doggo. Tay has a schedule. They're terrible with just throwing themselves into their research, so that stops you and calms down the mother hen in the background. Oh, dear Lord. Rosemary. Let's see, Stargirl saying, it's okay, Chris, and yeah, just not to drown and burn out. Yeah, we hear you. One step at a time. Oxymoron saying, currently training to become a trainer for existence dogs. Excellent. We're scrolling to catch up here. Have to be 100% prepared for the unexpected with disorder. This disorder, isn't that true? Exactly. Chris's background is home decorating goals. Thank you. Let's see here. Oxy saying to us, symmetry, can't help but notice the spaces on. Yeah, I know. Lowest shelf to the middle to your right, not the same on the left. You mean the cat over here, right? Yeah. Here, I'll see if we can. Make that better. The candles I'm not going to mess with, but there you can have the spacing. That's a little better, I think. That should be less annoying. Unfortunately, some of these candles are no longer the same size, which we try to do because, symmetry, but several of them just burned out. And we haven't replaced them yet. Food being more important than buying flickery LED candles. Let's see here. But yes, thank you, Oxy. Tablet is channeling our brain. Too many tabs open. Laugh out loud. Yeah, absolutely. She's saying, they're saying now that's all we're going to see. I fixed it. Same lowest shelf, I think. Same with lowest shelf. No, we're fairly equal there. Everything else is fairly good. Well, hopefully that'll be a little less annoying. Yes, Boots, I know that we need to oil the squeaky chair. Hush. Okay, let's see here. You're negotiating with Wi-Fi is me negotiating with my system. I like this comparison, but I think some of us are working with dial-up. I miss the sound of a modem connecting, honestly. Me, personally. The rest of us really couldn't give a rat's ass. Let's see here. Naomi, hope there's a better system in place where you live than just take kids away if their parent has difficulties with mental health. Have you looked into this? Is it really so black and white? Yeah. You question away. Oxy, for us, there's never enough time in a day or a week or whatever. Yeah. And we get in this spot where it's like, oh, sleep is dispensable. We don't need to sleep. And it's like, yeah, we do. But there's this tendency to want to push through, or at least whoever is up front to not pay attention to the fact that we need to rest, that the body needs to sleep the best that it can with all of the perpetual sleep paralysis and somatic flashbacks. And yeah, anyway. Let's see here. Hey, sometimes it feels like I'm the host, only here to work and do our PhD, so need to work on my schedule. Yeah. It can be tough to divide it up. Stephen saying we're very quickly losing our ability to drive as we've been legally blind in our right eye for decades, but now our field of vision is slowly going dark. Macular degeneration by any chance? We used to work with a lawyer who had that. In fact, the large part of our duties was reading everything to him. So we're familiar with that, and that sucks. Our vision has gotten atrocious within the past 3 or 4 months, but we're overdue for a new pair of glasses. So hopefully it's not that, but man, yeah, we feel you on the vision stuff. Okay, let's see this, but also the okay, guys, we're gonna get this wall perfect. This, but also the shelf next to it with the mugs. That one there, this one. Oh, I see. Phlegm is just a teeny bit over. Unless you're referring to these. That's the creamer and the thing. Stay. No, that's going to have to do for now. Okay, let's see here. It might be the camera angle. Yeah, possibly. Sigil, hello. Yes, it might be. Oh my God, I've never met anyone else who likes the sound of dial-up. Man, that was the sound of Escape once upon a time. Yeah, absolutely. we're bad at it. We won't do that again. Let's see. Oh my God, never. Let's see. You've got mail. Yeah, absolutely. Or that very classic ding when the messenger thing popped up. Personally, we still remember old Windows sounds. Yes. Oh, or lighting one side has more noticeable shadow. Yes, that's probably what you're seeing there. Okay, this thing is cutting in and cutting out, so we're gonna have to scoochie forward until that thing decides to cooperate. Let's see. Okay, yeah. The younger part that just loves to recreate the noise of your chair, it seems. Yeah, it sounds terrible because it sounds like we're passing gas, but we're not. It's just it needs. Boots needs to flip it upside down and put some WD-40 or some grease on it. I don't care which is correct. Just fix it so it doesn't make that noise. You see, you don't have to correct the shells. We are okay with it. Just noticed and had to write it because of you spoke of it. No, it's okay because little things like that irritate the crap out of us. We are that person who would literally walk into somebody's house and center a picture because it's not quite right. So no, if we can make that go away, hey, where'd the chat go? All that chat. Excuse me. You have mail. Noises in chat. We just think about how annoying we could be. Yes, fortunately, you guys can't make noises in chat. And let's see, how many do we have right now? About 15. Yeah. I don't think we need to go over the rules today for you guys. Pretty much everybody is familiar with them that's here. But okay, fine. I'm getting told that yes, but people could be watching later on that aren't familiar, and we want them to know, but they're not going to be here to comment on the damn live stream. What logic is there in that? And anybody who's doing that is going to be commenting in the comment section because it will be after the video is uploaded. Therefore, it's not live chat, so that really doesn't matter. Thank you. Sorry, just please retry your network connection. Yeah, no shit. Cho, shush. You're not going to go out until like 6 o'clock. When we take the walk, after dinner, same as every day, 365 days a year. Except when it gets uber hot and then we switch it over to nighttime. Which reminds me, I've got to fix Colby's, or rather resolder Colby's LED collar. Because it gets so hot, we'll sometimes walk the cats at night, and in order to do this, we took a bunch of an old LED strand that we had, and we kind of MacGyvered together a blue glow-in-the-dark collar for Colby, our youngest cat, who really is the one we worry about. Cheddar, he's Mr. Outdoors type cat, and he's cautious and he's kind of a scaredy cat, so he won't run into trouble. Colby is hi, I'm friendly, or I'm going to be mischievous and run off, halfway down the property and leave you in the dust at. So when we walk them at night, we needed some way to identify him from a large distance. Otherwise, we're going to be up all night worrying where he is, calling in the yard, trying to get him to come back because we can't sleep until we know that both cats are okay and in the house, because our memory is that bad. We can't remember sometimes whether or not we've let the cat out, Cheddar, and whether or not he's back in or not. And, so it's like we'll be laying down and trying to wind down, and all of a sudden somebody will like, oh, is the cat in? Are we sure? Did we actually do that? Did we let him in? Did we let him out? Because it gets mixed up. And it's getting increasingly worse for those type of things, kind of touching on what we were talking about earlier. And it's very frustrating. It's like, for example, within the past month to 2 months, there have been multiple instances where we've put something on the stove. Fortunately, most of the time it's just water for our tea, but we come back, so we forget about it and come back like half an hour to 45 minutes later, and there's almost no water left, and we're going, oh, crap. It's a house burned down type of a thing. But fortunately, we have an induction or cooktop, no open flame or electricity or anything. Fortunately, But yeah, it's just things like that, and we know that part of it is just our age, and that the memory starts to go wiggity whack on you. But the DID does not help. It does not help at all. And yeah, anyway, I'm not sure if we had a point to that or if we're just relating. Oh, okay. Hey, we got chat back here. Okay, here. Let's see. We're that person too, but we can look away. Learned it over the years. Yeah, we hear you. But it's okay. We're happy to. Well, that's why it's there, because actually, believe it or not, we figured that the same reason that we keep everything, the minimalism and whatnot, for us would help for you, because psychologically, we systems, would crave order. We like things just neat and just so. So pretty much all of our, I don't want to call it a set, but our backdrop here is arranged not only for our personal preference and our particular style choice, but also to help you guys feel a little bit more at ease and not be so blaring and neon and in your face and whatnot. And actually, it's like the walls here. It's I don't know if it probably looks white to you, but it's an actually kind of a silvery type of a color. We liked that specifically because it picks up the yellow, the warm yellow lights that we use, because that also, whenever we're shooting any of our episodes, all of our lighting is done on the very, very warm end of the spectrum, because that's kind of where our skin tone is anyway, but it's more relaxing, not only for us, but for you guys when you're watching it. So we try to, there's a certain visual component that Chris, since I do all the engineering on this, there's some psychology and research behind it. So it is important to us to not be staring at things that are out of place, so that we don't mind fixing it for you. And yeah, this wall is still kind of in flux. We need more knickknacks, but we've kind of hit that point. And then it's like, okay, well, what do we put where they can actually see it? Because most of the time, like you saw before, you're missing the upper 2/3. All right, so let's get back to it. So we don't mind Oxy. Let's see. Yeah, you got Mel. Let's see. Don't know if we're ever going to get to a point in our lives where farts cease to elicit fits of laughter. Now, see, yeah, for us, we're on the opposite end of the spectrum, because our abuser / stepfather, that was his type of humor, gutter humor, and 9-year-old boy type humor. So it was always farts, and it's like one of the first time that we ever actually had a young lady over to our house for dinner, and we were senior, no, that was a year before, junior high anyway, and we had her over and everything, and he's farting at the dinner table and everything else, and it's just, we remember sitting there mortified, not only for her, but on our own behalf. And it's, well, I mean, we hated him for a variety of reasons, and that certainly didn't help. Turns out we had much more reason to hate him than we realized. So yeah, we're kind of very, and part of it is probably like with Percival, as very, it's like, I don't want to say he's proper, because he's not, but hopefully it makes sense what we're trying to say. So we're kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's like our wife, she has the, she's got the 12-year-old humor type of thing as well, but not like unclassy about it or anything, but it's just differences in humor. Sometimes the stuff that she's like, oh honey, you gotta watch this or listen to this, and it's like, we'll find it amusing, but also because we have been trained ourselves to not really express emotions, to just, it's, I don't know how the hell to describe it. It's almost like we're up on a shelf looking out at everything, and I'm sure that this goes to the depersonalization and derealization. But it's like we have to hold ourselves above it, and not experience it. It's like if we laugh at that kind of thing, it's like it lets our guard down in some ways, or it's like we're, I can't explain. I really see, this is where words just fail. But anyway, upshot is that sometimes it's like, glad you find it funny, but we're really struggling to find the humor here because it's so common and crass to us. But then again, it's like I said, we might have humor tastes for 4 different people going on. So it can be frustrating, because we want to, our wife is taking the time to share something with us that she thinks is funny. or, and she's thinking of us in that way. And it's not that we don't want her to do that. We do. It's that we have trouble getting into that moment and being willing to let go because we're expecting a kick or a yell or something like that because we don't react the way that the other person wants us to react. So we're kind of, it's like the freeze thing that we get when our wife is being affectionate with us, and sometimes it's just a simple hug. We were not raised in a huggy, touchy-feely, okay, well, the other kind of touchy-feely environment, obviously, but not in a hugging, loving manner. Gentle touch or loving touch to us was a foreign concept. We crave it. We need it like a plant needs water because we never had it. So when our wife is going to give us a hug or whatnot, a nice warm hug, and she's holding on to us, it's like part of us is going, oh, yes, we're loved. This is safe. This is good. And the other part of us is going, how do we react? I don't know what to do. I'm afraid, and as a result, the body stiffens, and it's like, and we literally have to work at, okay, this is not a threat. She's not going to turn around 5 minutes from now and try and, be Mrs. Hyde from Dr. Jekyll. The way that our abusers did, but it's so ingrained, and it really makes us feel terrible because it's a very rare instance when we're able to get past that reaction and really be warm and affectionate and all the things that we want to be and that we crave, but we're afraid of and afraid to do because in the past that wasn't a thing. And this also can lead to some guilt with us because it's like, oh God, it's like we weren't particularly affectionate with our kids. I mean, we would hug them, play with them and whatnot. So I know that we did better than the environment that we were raised in, even not knowing that we were a system. Because we knew we had figured out by that a while back that, there was a great deal of emotional abuse and whatnot, and control and gaslighting and manipulation that had been going on. And that was one of the reasons that we went no contact with our egg donor. And then we found out we were a system, and then we found out exactly what caused it, and we're like, you know. Um, so yeah, but it's one of the things that we can that's tough. It's really tough to overcome that because here's our wife, giving us warm hugs, and I think she's finally caught on to the fact that, okay, she just needs to hug us more then until the body actually goes, and relaxes. But it makes us feel guilty because she was raised from the other end of the spectrum. So I'm sure it must have been terribly, terribly confusing for her, being married to us early on we're only on year 4 after our diagnosis. So it must have been very confusing for her to have, a husband who is standoffish in one way and then not in the other. So it's and again, there's that guilt, even though there was nothing that we could really do about it, it still makes you feel bad, and it sits right in there. I don't know if we had a point here. This thing is still going wiggity whack on us. So let's see here. Where were we? Is this what me and Willow sound like when we argue aloud? Yeah, we talk to ourselves, sorry. Tay, sleeping tablets kicking in. They're probably long gone by now. They'll be disappearing now, but thank you for being such an inviting community, which can be hard to find on the DID internet. Yeah, no kidding. Seems to have been taken over basically by people who are more interested in toxicity than anything else. Let's see. Sigil is saying thought it was light blue, and good night, Tay. Oh, and we're back again. Now, where's the chat? Yeah. Give us a minute to catch up here, guys. Because this thing is just whack. Come on, where is our... No, not top messages, all messages. So irritating. Okay, I think it's back. Let me double check. Rainbow Star System. Hi. Okay, I think it's behaving now. Okay, so Tay's off for the night. Everybody saying goodbye to them. Let's see here. Thought it was a light blue. Yeah. No, it's what do they call it? Platinum ring is the actual name of the color. Is a Walmart, marketplace special, whatever it was. But we did it in a flat rather than a gloss or semi-gloss, even though semi-glosses are easier to clean, because we knew that we would be filming in here and we didn't want the light, if we painted it with a gloss or a semi-gloss, then the light would constantly be bouncing off of the wall, which we did not want, because when you're filming against a backdrop like this, you don't want any extraneous reflections getting to the camera. You got to keep it clean. So like I said, we actually went through a great deal of thought to plan all this out rather than just slapping on whatever. But we kind of wish that we'd went with a slightly warmer color now, but there were reasons. Okay, let's see here. Sad Doggo, sounds like you all take really good care of the cats, Chris. It's always really nice to hear. Yeah, the cats are, Chloe and Cheddar are part of the family. I mean, they're going on 15, I think now. Every time that we make a guess, our wife says that we're wrong on the dates, but I think we were mostly thinking that they were around 18-ish, but I don't know. But yes, we treat them very well. Basically, the cats are considered an equal to a person. It's just, we identified with animals, particularly cats, earlier on. It seems like there's dog people and then there's cat people. We're definitely cat people. It's not that we don't like dogs, it's that we don't trust dogs. But dogs seem to like us, other than Pomeranians, which for some reason consider us their racial enemy. The minute that they spy us, they immediately attack. And no, this is not a joke. I know it sounds ridiculous, but to have these little furry mop dogs nipping around your ankles. But yeah, we found out about 12 years old doing a paper route that Pomeranians just hate us for some reason. Go figure. But otherwise, dogs were like, yeah, nice dog, you're a nice dog, woof, 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 kitties. But yeah, thank you. We've always tried to take very good care of the cats. And Coley and Cheddar, we actually raised them from the itty bitty balls of fur that could fit in your hand as our first wife. And we were coming back from the store, some place that we had went one night, and went to open the back door, and here's these two little balls of orange fur. More than likely, we had been feeding their mother. We, will feed the strays if, they come into our purview as it was. So we think that she had had a litter and brought them over to drop for us to take care of. And sure enough, we, took them in, and they've been with us ever since. But yeah, we take good care of our kitties. Right now, they're spoiled because I introduced them to the Sheba food. Tender trout in particular, and now, of course, no other cat food is sufficient than that. So it's like, ow, but oh well. They deserve a little treat. But thank you, said Doggo. It's nice to have it recognized. Never Wonder System. I wish there was more info out there on navigating marriage with DID. We've been married 12 plus years and constantly struggle with intimacy and connecting. There's just not many married systems. It's very tough. It's very tough on partners. It's making that mental leap that you are married to more than one person, or rather that there is more than one person in the body that you are married to, must be, forgive the word, insane. We are very grateful for ours. Very, very grateful and very lucky. So before we get into tier territory here, and on that note, though, Never Wonder, and for the rest of you, and we've mentioned this, our wife is willing to do a bit of a Q&A. We can't show her directly on screen, obviously, because she's a teacher and we need to maintain anonymity, but she has said that she's willing to answer questions. So if you have questions that you'd like to ask her, feel free to, write them down in the comment section, please, not in the chat here, because going back and scrolling through the chat is an exhausting process after this uploads. But if you have any questions or things that you'd like to hear, or get her perspective on things, just write them down in the comment section or drop a comment in our community post. Maybe we'll just put up a little community post saying, hey, you want to ask some questions? Write them down here, and we can do an episode with that. She's willing. So if you do have questions or you want to see that, get it out there, write them out, drop them down. But yes, we're very lucky. Let's see. Stephen is saying that the CTAD clinic has some videos on that. Yeah, they just uploaded two recently that we haven't had a chance to watch yet. But yes, for any of the rest of you who are looking for good, reliable, sourced, professional information, go over and watch the CTAD clinic, CTAD clinic. It's here on YouTube. It's Dr. Mike Lloyd, and he knows his stuff. He's really cool, has a very calm demeanor. We watch them regularly. Actually, more data kind of watches it because they're a little more technical over there. But I follow along. But yeah, highly recommend that. So if you're looking for a source of official info, like an accredited doctor, that's go check him out, Dr. Mike. He's great. So thanks for bringing that up for sure, Stephen. Blue Rose would like to have more information and support about marriage and DID. Married for over 20 years, but still struggle in those areas. Yeah, write down those questions, guys. We follow them. Yeah, videos have been helpful. The Oxy is saying we still cannot relax while being hugged. We totally understand the humor thing, kind of same here. Yeah, being hugged, it's like it triggers that, okay, we're about to be attacked. We're about to be, assaulted, violated, and we're trying to avoid the R word, although of course we're not shy of saying it. You guys know that, but yeah, it's the trauma has ingrained that fight or flight response, and no matter, and even though you're experiencing it, you can't help but experience it because you can't turn that off. Yeah, God, this stupid tablet is giving us so many difficulties today. Let's see here. Sigil saying they've been married 15 years, but I think we got lucky. He's been really helpful with our healing, to be honest. Yeah, and yeah, ours, we're very fortunate to have her. Let's see, Rainbow Star System. Hello, Maldwin. I know you're Rainbow Star now, but we did remember who you were. So hello. Good to see you up as the actual system name, though. Let's see. So hard to navigate all the extreme differences in our emotions and overall feelings towards the spouse. Yeah, sorting that out. Fortunately, ours has been very open about that, particularly with Littles, Christopher in particular. He sees her mental image of her is big squishy blueberry lady. He sees her as, okay, you've seen the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when she blows up like a big blueberry. That's his mental image of her, but kind of like a squishmallow. She's big blue squishy huggy that gives good hugs lady. So yeah, but she's been very accepting of that. There was actually one point early on when he fronted for about a day and a half, 2 days, and she managed to deal with him. I'm sure that was a shock and a half. Rainbow System. Hope hope all well. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Grace to Grow. Hello. Late to the live, but happy to catch everyone in real time. No problem. We're glad to have you here, Grace to Grow. Yeah, we be Maldwin. Changed your username. Yep. Let's see. Everybody saying hello. Welcome to Grace. Pomeranians attacking is not personal to you, Chris. Okay, so you too. I don't know what it is with those little yap dogs. It's like, what did I ever do to you? But it's like, come closer and I'm going to stick a pole up your butt and turn you into a mop. It's like, not really. We don't harm animals, obviously, but cats are chill dog. Cats are chill. Dogs are living life. Yeah, I can see that. Not Bob. Oh, hey. Welcome. Don't think we've seen you before. Let's see here. Bastet gave you babies. Yes, absolutely, she did. Lady Bass, Lady Bastet, and Lady Sekhmet. If you want to go for that, we are not. We give honor to them. we thank them for allowing their children to be part of our life and sending them to be part of our lives, and for us to have the honor of being part of theirs, because there have been times when they've kept us alive. Not going to go any more into that because we'll get maudlin, and the stream has been pretty upbeat so far today. So let's, not that we're averse to talking about serious stuff, but let's keep it on a roll here. But we're glad to know that Pomeranians hate somebody else out there, Oxy. Thank you for that. Let's see. Sad Doggo, back when you could sell kittens in a cardboard box in front of the grocery store, is that still legal? We got some kitties that way, maybe a few too many. I've never had anybody sell them outside, but we've adopted a couple who had boxes outside of a Walmart. I haven't seen that in quite a while. I don't think there's any laws against it, but yeah, you got to worry with that. All of ours have been strays, or we've adopted from the kennels, from the shelters. And when Collier Cheddar do eventually move on, um, not looking forward to that. You're going to see us in crisis. Then I'll tell you what. Well, maybe not in crisis, but we're not going to be happy about it. We're trying to slowly prepare ourselves for the eventual fact. But what we're going to do then is probably go to the local shelter and ask them what their most senior cat is there, because the senior cats, they need homes. And everybody goes for the kittens, and those poor senior cats are there. Nobody wants to live out the remainder of their life in a cage. I'm just sorry. Stop thinking about this, or we're going to get off into sadness. So yeah, but we're with you there, sad doggo. Oh my God, that's so funny. I'll say that our cat is also hooked on the Sheba portions, tender trout, and the chicken Alfredo. Nothing else is sufficient now. Yeah, that tender trout. Oh my God, they just go after it. And Cheddar, he's the picky one, like really picky. He just goes after that like, and I don't know if you've tried feeding yours those Temptations treats, but it's like, oh my God, cat crack. They go crazy for those things. But yeah, nothing else but the Sheba will do. We haven't given them the chicken Alfredo yet, so we'll have to try that one next. We're trying to decide whether or not, like the chunkier bits or the pate works better. So far, they're about equal. But yeah, unfortunately, now we're having to pay the $1.18 for a little Sheba pack. Okay, let's see here. Mate, I don't know how to date anyone right now. Yeah, amen. And we were pretty much always that way. We got lucky. Sad Dog was saying to not Bob same. I joke with people hitting on me that I'm too annoying for 99.9% of people. Well, there's always that 0.1 out there. Never wonder System Y'all's wife sounds like an amazing person. Love to see systems like ours having the support and love they always deserved. Thank you. We're not sure about that deserved part, but we're working on it. There's the trauma patterning. Oxymoron feels being hugged feels like being held captive with no way out. We instantly freeze, even though we know that's not what's really happening. Yeah, overcoming that ingrained body, the somatic memories are hard. They're really hard. Let's see here. Pretty dang accurate description. Sucks to feel that way even when we know that it's safe. Yeah. Love your optimism, Chris. Yes, we're a poptimist. A poptimist. We made this up years ago. It's not that the glass is half empty or half full. We just want something different to drink. Therefore, we're a poptimist, a pessimistic optimist, or an optimistic pessimist. Poptimist. Oof, and we just kicked the camera, and now our carefully positioned is out of whack. And well, we'll have to make do. Sorry, Sad Dog. And now you see the spacing looks like it's off in here. Yeah, that angle's just whack. Okay, there we go. Love my optimism. Okay, let's see here. Sorry, we're leaning forward because this is still whacking out. Got to try the Temptations treats then. Love to spoil the fur babies. There we go. Tender trout's definitely the go-to, but the salmon and the cream sauce and chicken Alfredo makes them go crazy. That love is hella deserved. Thank you, guys. Easier to tell others they are worthy of that love than it is to accept that we are worthy of that same love. Yeah, we still work on that. We've accepted now that the abuse occurred. We've accepted what happened to us because trauma doesn't lie. We still get into the denial from time to time, though. We're not going to lie about that. Not that we ever lie. Truth becomes important when you're lied to constantly. But yeah, we still struggle with self-depreciation. We struggle with feeling worthy of just simply existing because it was so ingrained in us, and we're still picking up on these trauma patterns. At least we're to the point where we are at least aware of our trauma patterns and aware when we're starting to have one. But then we have to stop ourselves and say, well, this is, here, have a little teacup ASMR. So we've had a couple people tell us that we should do an ASMR channel. We have, over the course of time, had so many people say, oh, your voice is so great, your voice is so relaxing. We're like, thanks. Well, then it must be because we've made our wife fall asleep so many times when she can't sleep just by reading something to her. We'll snuggle her into the armpit and then we'll read something, or Percival will, rather, since he's the read aloud guy. And generally within a paragraph or two, she'll be, it's like, and then of course we're trapped with sleeping wife there, but I'm just joking, we don't mind. It makes us feel useful. Yeah, easier. Yeah, exactly. True, but still. Okay, very true. Felt. I'm sure I'm worthy, but it's like trying to tell that to someone else when I switch every 5 minutes to 5 hours to 5 days. Not sure I'd want to put up with that either. Yeah. Our wife just said, as long as you keep trying, I won't leave. And we keep trying because, that's the way we're wired. We are wired to survive, and we've surviven. There's a new word for today, surviven. That means when you're a southerner and you're surviving something, you're surviving. Our wife is a southerner, so we can make that joke. Let's see here. Houndoom. Hello, hey, Houndoom. Server timed out. Just looking for that one weirdo who's like me, I guess. Aren't we all? We got lucky twice to find true love, and yeah, so we're lucky, we're fortunate. Maybe some kind of a pittance of comfort from whatever force of chaos rules our life, that at least we got to experience that to offset everything else. But we feel you, said Doggo. Don't give up. Generally, it happens right when you do, stop actively, or at least for us. Yeah, we're not going to get off into that. Okay, but we hold out hope that everybody out there will find somebody. Let's see, Blue Rose, another bit of good news. We found a therapist who has dealt with DID and has room for us. Next week is our first appointment. We're kind of excited about it. Good. Congrats. We're still fighting the fight to find one for us. Steven saying, is there any way to change your name on YouTube without making a new account? I think so, but I don't know how to do it. Talk to where did they go? Rainbow Star System, Maldwin, you changed your name. Can you tell Stephen LaRoche how to change their name without making a new account and change the YouTube name? Because we would, but we don't know. It's a mystery. So yeah, hopefully they can tell you. Awesome news, Blue. Yes, absolutely. That is great. Catching up here. Like finding a needle in a haystack. Congratulations. Yeah, no kidding. Never Wonder System. We would love to see more simulation videos. The two y'all posted were so well done and have helped us to explain what we experienced to others many times. Assuming that you mean the voices in my head day and night. Yeah, that's we'll think on it. If we find something that would benefit from that particular presentation style, we'll let you know. We'll it's kind of, there's an idea that's been kicking around on the back burner, but a lot of it's tough to take it from conception to actually doing it. But thank you. We're glad that you found them helpful. And we'll think about that for the future. Next thing though is a new episode of Little Stories. So we've already got the pages for the story scanned in. Percival has already recorded the vocal track for that. So now all we need to do is record his part of it, and then I can sit down and do my magic and edit it all together. Sorry that we haven't really gotten anything out this month other than this live stream here, because it's just been, like we said, with all the stuff that went on with our son, we knew it was going to take us a while to settle down. Things are settling down to that right now. So thank you for your guys' patience. And yes, I know we don't have an obligation, don't feel obligated, but still, with the littles, let them know that they've got a new episode coming up soon. And I'm trying to work out with the little sheep. We have like over 100 sheep, definitely over 100 sheep. I think we were up to like 143 the last time that I counted. I've been trying to figure out a way to make them go boing, 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 boing across the screen in front of him and then go run under the tree. But I've experienced some serious, that's what I want to do. But making it happen is proving to be a challenge and a half. So I've had to overcome some technical difficulties. I'm not quite sure that I've got nailed down. So the final form of the sheep would be, I don't know, we may have to just stick to the going across like that. We'll see. But I'm going to try to make those sheep go boing, 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 right in front of Percival and then go huddle under the tree. We'll see. It's a massive amount of work. I'd really like to do it, but it's one of these where it just might be too much of a PITA, a pain in the ass, to do, but hopefully, so we'll see. Anyway. But another simulation video, let us chew on that. Never wonder. Let's see here. Everybody saying hi to Hound Doom. Let's see. Steven saying those were the two videos that made it click in such a way. It was like, oh my God, someone gets exactly how we feel. That was the only way that we could figure it out to really show it. And God, did that take some work, man, because we had to go out and record it and then actually get everybody to front. Co-commenting was not just enough, but we had to actually have them fully front, everybody fully front, in order to record what was going on in here at that particular point in time. And that's why we did not try to separate out the voices, because from our experience in the way that we co-con, they get jumbled like that. And it can be very difficult sometimes to figure out who is saying what or who is thinking or feeling what. So we tried to preserve that for you guys. So we're glad that it, connected. But yeah, we were wandering around Walmart with a camera like right there, almost like a necklace type of a thing. And then having to edit everything out because that was during the height of COVID. So it's like, but we're glad that they helped. Let's see. Rainbow Star saying, I can help. Thank you for helping them out there. Yes, we found them great for the same reasons. Oh, thank you guys. Twin Stars just stopping by. Hope you all are doing okay. Hello, Twin Stars. We're glad to see you. Wish you could stay longer. Yes, those were the videos. Simulation videos were hard to watch, and I don't know why. I did enjoy the daytime one, though. The grocery park triggered me for real. Yeah. Yeah, we were triggered there, too, as you could tell. They can be hard to watch. We know that sometimes our content can be hard to watch, but that's because we don't pull punches. We're here to show you what it's like in a tactful way, and unfortunately, a great deal of that is uncomfortable stuff. But again, you're not obligated to watch. We do trigger warning these things for a reason, and admittedly, part 2, the night with DID, that was a lot heavier, because when the sun goes down, the trauma creeps in and the flashbacks creep in. And we wanted to show you what it's like going through a day with us. And even still, we managed to keep it kind of on the surface level. But yeah, you can get, we're glad that the sense of the spinning and the panic and whatnot came out in the flashbacks. For those of you who actually sat through the flashback simulator all the way at the end of the episode. But again, we trigger warning that as heavy as we possibly could. So yeah, we know it gets heavy sometimes, but we're glad that they are helping you guys. Yes, those were awesome videos, really helpful indeed. Thank you for real. Yeah, no, it's okay, said Doggo. We got it. We've been waiting for another little story. Thank you for doing it. No problem. Okay, yeah, introduction. How to change the name. Let's see, Never Wonder System. One of our little's favorite books is More Spaghetti, I Say. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. We'll make a note and see if we can find a copy. Pretty much we've been sticking to the little golden books that our actual little golden books that we had as a child. We have supplemented because we'll go to the bookstores and whatnot, and the Goodwills and the bookstores will be like, aha, do we have this one yet? And there's some that we just won't do, like the stuff off of the moderns, like the Toy Story, Little Golden Books and stuff like that. We also avoid the Disney ones as well. Winnie the Pooh we could get away with because Winnie is actually in the public domain now. The Disney images still belong to Disney, obviously, but we're kind of shying away from Mickey and Minnie's pictures, Donald Duck and the Witch, and things like that. We have them, but we're sticking basically with the classics for several reasons. Because again, our programming, though we know a lot of younger folks watch the channel and whatnot, we're still pitching for in and around our age group, but also generalizing. I don't know quite what we're saying. Anyway, Little Golden Books, great, everybody loves. There we go. There goes the pad again. But we will look for more spaghetti, I say. Okay, let's see here. Sigil saying, I call my husband the universe's apology for where I started since before I even realized the extent of things. How did you do the sheep's legs movement? Hello, Magical Beans. Where's Magical Beans? Don't see it. Anyway, Velveteen Rabbit was one of 420 Witch's favorites. Hello, 420 Witch. There we go. Oh, hello, Magical Beings. Okay, sorry, we're flagging a little bit here. Let's see here. Sigil wants to know, how do you do the sheep's leg movements? Okay, we'll tell you how we created the little sheep animation that you see there. First off, the little sheep, the sheep itself, and the illustration of Bo Peep, those are Rose's Rent's work. They are an artist and they do things like that. One day they sent over to us the artwork to see what they looked like, and boom, light bulb went on, and we were like, hey, can we use this for the safe space? And they were like, yeah, go ahead. So what we had to do is we took and we scanned it in. And for those of you who watched the original episodes, the older episodes, we actually did the cutouts and would put them on the wall. Well, rapidly we got more sheep than we had wall space, so then we had to transition to the digital. But at that point, we were moving from the bedroom into the studio and getting things set up anyway in the new environment. So we were able to kind of switch that over just at the right time. But how we did that was to actually take her illustration and separate out in MS Paint. Actually, we're really good at going pixel by pixel type thing. No pixel art, but we've been using it for so long for quick and easy stuff that we just use that. We took and we made the body a separate element, the head a separate element, the tail and all four haunches a separate element. Had to kind of get creative without filling them in. So each one of those became a separate layer, which we then put against a green screen. So you just have the body against a green background. So what we were able to do I was able to do, since I do all this editing work myself, was to then take those individual pieces and put them into Premiere, to key out the green background and then layer them on top of each other. For example, the haunches are on the bottom layer. Then you got the tail, which really doesn't show, so on the most recent ones we pulled that off. So you got the haunches, the little feetsies, and then the layer on top of that is the body, and then the head is on top of that. But for the feet, to get them to move, what we did was we actually found a piece of stock footage of a sheep running, a real-life sheep running, and what we did was we took and I brought that in and then overlaid by changing the opacity of the sheep layers to about 50%, and literally tracked frame by frame how the feet moved, how each leg moved. And so we were able to get that fluid motion. What I didn't realize is that I needed to actually do it on a slow motion, because speeding it up, the footage up later, makes it look like they're going, like a Roadrunner cartoon. But that's how we actually got the realistic movement of the sheep, was by individually tracking each leg and then the movement of the head itself. Actually, the only static part is the actual body itself, and I've been tweaking it and changing it. I've got it to where it is now, and then getting the names to actually stick on the sheep has been a never-ending nightmare for me, because putting it in as another, okay, now I'm just getting into technical stuff. But that is how we got the sheep to move like that. I got it to move like that. A very exhausting process, and I'm glad that it's done. So yeah, that's how the sheep is done. Actually, I'm more than happy to talk about how I do these things. So hey, 420 Witch, Velveteen Rabbit was one of her favorites. I will put that on the list. Let's see here. Neverwonder System. It's an old book from the early 90s or late 80s. Super cute. Think it's all over the web. That must be the more spaghetti. Yeah, we will look that up. Let's see. Neil Gaiman has stated that anyone can use his work for educational purposes, such as encouraging young people to read. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Now that we know that, that will more than likely be, the Percival reads for the older folks and not the littles. But thank you. Good to know, Juxta. And hey, Juxta. Softy just got here, but I assume we're talking about the little story time. Yes, love the Bremen Town Musicians. Would love to see you do that story. Okay, we got 3 story ideas here. I remember that. I remember that tale. That's a good one. Let's see, Sad Doggo, that 420 Witch, as a child who almost died from fever, that book is really important to me. I definitely love a reading of it. We will see what we can do about the Velveteen Rabbit. Yes, it meant a lot to me when I was little. I'm 37, had a first edition and official Velveteen Rabbit made from velvet. Probably pretty patchy by now. Let's see there. Their Majesty, yo, never been this late. What did we miss? Just basically kind of a lot of chit chat. Nothing real heavy today, just back and forth. Didn't miss a lot. Time is it? Okay, let's see here. Oxy saying, wow, so much work in that little sheep. Thanks a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Also, Dr. Seuss books. You can't go wrong with me and age regression. Craves the old Dr. Seuss stories as well as books like The Velveteen Rabbit. Yes, but actually being able to get through a Dr. Seuss book can be a challenge for the, for the recorder. Let's see here. Shel Silverstein was another good one. Where are the sidewalk ends? Oh, I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor. A boa constrictor. A boa constrictor. Oh, I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor. Yep. Yeah, that's actually Silverstein's stuff is closely tied in with trauma for us. So it's not that we wouldn't be comfortable doing it. It's just for us personally, there's some unsettled feelings around it, which we've learned is a red flag that there's an area there that is related to the abuse. It's a very particular sensation that we get. One of those side things that we work on when we think of it. We really appreciate the time you put in. Blu-rays a sing. Oh, okay, hang on, Sigil. Yeah, the name, but I was going to suggest making it bounce in an image and have the image cross the screen, but the name kind of makes that less possible. Yeah, and actually we had tried it that way, but unfortunately, the names moved to the motion blur became too much to where they're unreadable, which is one of the issues that we had to correct to get that to happen. It's a technical thing, and it would take me like literally an hour to explain it, but we finally got it solved. But yeah, it was a puzzle, Sigil. Blue Rose, we really appreciate the time you put in. Thank you, guys. Please comment on the things, because it actually helps to drive the algorithm. And it's not that, but we also like to know that, you guys are seeing it, and, a little bit of ego gratification never harms anything, right? No, you guys know where our focus is, but yeah, thank you. We appreciate the praise. A GIF. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, unfortunately, that wouldn't solve the problem. It's essentially what we've settled on now, which is each individual sheep is its own animated video file with the name attached. I know, because I just got done doing this last week for all 100 and however many names however many sheep there are. And on that, just to let you guys know, we haven't actually had any names overlap as of yet, but when we do, what we'll be doing is, and we hope that the littles are okay with that, those littles who share the same name as somebody else, we will more than likely just be having that sheep count for both, unless we want to go into, the last name initial or whatnot. But we know that a lot of littles don't even have a last name, so much less, that type of thing. So we'll work that out, but we feel that the most equitable solution, and just from a production viewpoint, would be to do, for that one sheep or one name to, be shared, as it were. We think, anyway, hopefully you guys get what we're saying. Let's see here. So, yeah, we get you. Unfortunately, a GIF in this case, it wouldn't solve it. We did the same thing with one complete video file. We had to make one for each sheet. Ah, God, this stupid network connection. Let's see. Houndoom, Cat in the Hat, one of the best Dr. Seuss's, in my opinion. Yeah, or the Cat in the Hat comes back. Yes, Sad Doggo. Shel Silverstein's art was unsettling. Yes, exactly. And so much of the 70s seems to be in that style. It's just this really unsettling, disjointed, like, say, for example, okay, the Beatles, Yellow Submarine, the video there, that particular, psychedelic 60s type of a thing, it seemed to be that, and just, you know what we're talking about. And yes, that aesthetic, that unsettling aesthetic from that whole area is very closely tied in with a lot of our trauma. Yeah, so if you know, yeah, there's more than one reason why the 70s are best left forgotten. Let's see here. The Giving Tree. Now that is probably one of the saddest books ever. Oh Lord. And now you see, you would think that would be a natural shoe-in, but there are books and stuff that we bypass simply because we don't want them to trigger a trauma memory for a little, or worse, institute one. So, and plus we're never quite sure what age range we're dealing with. We're trying to appeal more to all littles, but it seems the younger subs, I don't know. Anyway, Little Stories evolves as it goes on. Okay, let's see here. 420, which Nanny used to send me a new Dr. Seuss book every year with a tape cassette for reading it. Oh, that's awesome. So Sonny could read along type of thing. That is really awesome. How nice. What a great nanny. Never Wonder System. Oof, heard. No Shel Silverstein. Yeah. If you know, you know. Okay, let's see here. P is saying this is so relatable. Can't allow myself to be close to people. I'm so afraid they'll think I'm useless. There's a hardcore, deep sunk trauma reaction right there, because that's what you were told. Yep, absolutely. And a large part of our journey as trauma victims is undoing those beliefs, and it's hard. It's really hard. Let's see. Blue Rose, another vote against Silverstein from me. I think that we're safe. Let's see. You don't have to like. There's ones that just creep out, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, or pouncibly announce them as the name with a number in it on it. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, we'll find some kind of a happy compromise when we get to it, but that's not a bad idea. But however, we really kind of don't want to use numbers for the sheet names, because as 7 of 9, who is not here today, can attest, there are those of us who were referred to as numbers during our abuse, so that might be a little iffy. We'll find a way though, but we'll find a way. Or we've thought about just simply going bloop, 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 and have all of the sheep fill in the screen, and then go shuffle under the tree. So that's another possibility. So, but thank you for the suggestion, though. We appreciate that. Let's see, that's a good idea, but when it comes to the name Danny, prefer the spelling of Danny to Danny or Danae. So, oh yeah, no. As long as the spelling variations are there, that's fine. We're talking about like Sally, and then there's another Sally, or things like that. But yeah, that's we might be able to get the alternate spellings there. So if you, yeah, okay, we'll work it out. You guys have got some great suggestions here. For us, sharing a sheep would be fine. Yeah, 70s is not the best color palette. Amen. There's an account on Instagram. I forget what the name of it is, but I think it's like Sad Beige Official. She does these comedy type things, Werner Herzog's new collection for sad beige children, sad beige children who stand around and contemplate the harsh reality of Neela. It's hilarious the way that she does it, but it's like, yeah, we were a sad beige child. Oh Lord, yes, the 70s was terrible and does not need to come back in any way, shape, or form. Let's see here. 420 saying I'm fine sharing too, but just an idea. Yeah, absolutely. We'll take the suggestions. Would be okay of sharing a sheep, but I think of sharing a sheep. But I think there's a very slim chance of that actually happening. Yeah, it's unusual names. Yeah, Blue Rose. No numbers, please. Agree, no numbers. Agree with the no numbers. Yeah, absolutely. That would be a trigger there. Because yeah, you're a thing. You're not a person. You're a thing. And if you're lucky, you get a number. Anyway, that's enough. We're gonna go with there. Let's see, 420 Watch. The Twits, the BFG, George, Marvelous Medicine, and Roald Dahl are some of my other favorites. We will probably never get to Roald Dahl for the same reason that we will not get to Shel Silverstein, because there is just something deeply disturbing about Mr. Dahl's works. And of course, there's his personal history that we have to look at there. So it's kind of like, we are very particular. We do screen what we put up with, we look for appropriateness of the story for the very okay. We know here's our mindset on it. To Percival, the littles are all are all littles. They are actual children that he is talking to directly, because that's what a little is. But the rest of us, and me as a producer primarily, and technical director, I have to be aware of the fact that these are children. These are actually adults who may understand or have a preference for more adult content versus the actual little who is watching the thing there. So we have to I have to be aware of which level I'm addressing. Is this more going to be for the adult, or the tween alters, or the adult alters, or is this going to be specifically geared to the littles? Because you don't want to be, it's like, for example, a little would listen to The Forgotten Door, would be able to listen to it just fine, because it's basically trigger free. It's a good wholesome story as it was. But the older alters are going to get much more out of it. So there's nothing to stop the littles from listening into our older stuff, but it's not pitched specifically at them the way that the little stories are. I have to keep in mind that even though these are adults who are watching the show, it is in fact a child, which is how Percival sees all of them. So I'm not quite sure if you guys understand the point that I'm trying to make, but yeah, like with Shel Silverstein stuff or Roald Dahl stuff, there are undercurrents there that are not age appropriate for the littles, but maybe for older ones, but also contain some trauma-based difficulties there that might. So we have to look. It's kind of like a thing between Percival and I, where we have to vet everything that we show so far. And in fact, on the next Percival Reads, I've already got the pages scanned in for the book that we will be covering, and in rereading and in re-looking it over, it has some. This one's going to be probably our most adult one yet, because it deals with issues such as narcissism and emotional abuse and things like that. Keep in mind the time frame of the novel is the same time frame that it was written at, which was 1908. So we're talking early 1900s, right around the turn of the century. So it does espouse some of those values, but also the authoress was very pointedly pointing out a lot of these things, like abuse and drunkenness and child neglect, because these are all parts of the story of the book. So it's definitely going to be, I don't think it'll require a trigger warning, but you can see there the care that we have to take in separating the subject matter and keeping it age appropriate. So I'll stop rambling now. Let's see. Sigil. Oh, our cis kids fuse so could free up their meme spot. No. It's up there. Leave it up there. They, that's it's doesn't have to come down. We don't pull sheep down. Everybody's part of the flock. Even Mimi is a part of the flock, much to her consternation. Let's see here. So yeah, we could do without Roald Dahl. Yeah, watching The Cat in the Hat and reading it are two different things. Absolutely. Or it was Willow that asked, I think we soon, yeah, like we said, don't worry about it. Sheep stay up. We're not at that point yet of duplication, so don't worry about it. We will deal with it. Let's see, 420. For me, Roald Dahl makes you feel happy. Daddy used to read those too and do voices. Then I would visit him. He was so good at voices. Yeah, now see, you have a positive association with that, which is absolutely great and totally valid. Oh, let's see. Sad dog. Ooh, interesting. Dang it, I'm switching. Oh, wow. I didn't know he has a dodgy history. I can't remember the details right now, but I think that there are some problematic areas with him. Don't quote us on it. We might be misremembering. It's not like we have DID and a Swiss cheese brain or anything, but let me check. Never wonder, more cooking videos with Rosemary, making and fashion with Mimi. We have so many requests. You will be getting, Rosemary has been rattling the pots and pans, as it were. We know that she's going to want to do a baking episode next. It's just a matter of finding the appropriate filming time and for when she's ready to do it. We're almost there. You should see that come up within the next month and a half. We have to get okay, let's just say month or 2 months, because we have to get the little stories out, and that is, of everything that we do, that takes the most production and editing from me because it's so complicated, which was exactly what we wanted to get away from when we started the channel, but it's for the littles. So I'm willing to put the extra effort in. So we will, yes, Rosemary will be soon. Because it's been a long time. Makeup and fashion with Mimi. That's when it's up to Mimi what she wants to do and if she wants to come out, when she wants to come out, what she wants to talk about. She's not really a makeup and fashiony type of girl, and really the only input on that she would be able to give you would be from the 80s perspective, which no doubt would be fascinating for you guys, but you have to keep in mind the circumstances in which she did the makeup and the fashion was for the abuse and for that environment to make us into a young lady, as it were, daddy's bigger girl, as the things go. Okay, we'll just stop right there. You get it. But yeah, we're see, with Mimi, she has an open invitation, just like all of the alts do within certain bounds. There, and Mimi has pushed those with the last one, but it's like that was her part of the story to tell, so she had the right to tell it, and I was not going to censor her and be a hypocrite. So yeah, but she decided to trauma dump. But anyway, so she is. We don't keep track of her or anything like that. It's just simply when she decides to do it, if she decides to do it, and what she decides to talk about. So we'll see. I'll let her know what she said. So yeah. Okay, yay for more cooking. So excited for those. Love baking. We've started baking bread with our kiddo, and it's been so much fun. And there's nothing better than fresh home baked bread. Absolutely. What does she like? Just love Mimi's fire. Yeah. What does Mimi like? Not being raped. Sorry. I think that came from her. She tends to do thought insertion all the time. You'd have to ask her. It's one of these where we were never really given an opportunity to develop likes or dislikes. So that's kind of like a foreign concept. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's part of our journey, I guess. So yeah, just love Mimi's fire. Yeah, she is. She's a 13-year-old girl. She's full of piss and vinegar, and as we used to say. But yeah, she's got spunk. But again, that's what he wanted. Up until the point when, okay, no, getting into Traumaville there. Anyway, I like that too, Mimi. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, are these two caught up with each other? Yes, no, maybe so. Where is the chat bubble? Chat bubble. There we go. Oh, let's see. I have not watched the Mimi video, and now to her, I'm sorry you went through that, Vaki. Yeah, Vaki, if you or the rest of the system does decide to watch that video, spilling the trauma tea, be aware of what you're getting into, because it's next to the what would you do for a Klondike bar with John's therapy session there. That's she goes into it. She goes into exactly what happened to us on that weekend / series of weekends. For her, the abuse was more prolonged because she didn't exist solely for that weekend. She kind of came out afterwards, once we got back into the home environment, and the our stepfather abuser decided to sample the goods, as it were, since we were already nice and broken. Uh, and that's kind of where she came in, because he wanted the bad. Yeah, it's there's a whole mindset and a whole thing to the kink there, and that's what she was patterned to be. That's what she became. She became what he wanted because the rest of us couldn't deal with it. And yeah, so anyway, there's that. If you do watch the video, just be aware, pay attention to the trigger warnings. It's not required. But yeah, if you want to know what we went through on a real gut-wrenching level basis, if you want to know exactly what happens to these kids, and the way that these bastards work, and the way that kids are trafficked, and the way that she lays it all out right there. A lot that you can read between the lines of, and a lot that she just flat out says, which was why I was like, the temptation to just delete it or edit it was very strong. Very strong, because I don't remember this stuff when another alter records or fronts. I don't remember it later. There's that memory drain, and so I'm sitting there watching through, and and all of a sudden she starts in, and it's like, oh my God, did she really? Yes, she did. It's like, and that puts me in the position of, oh crap, what do I do now? And had to be true to our word and not be a hypocrite, because in typical teenage fashion, she would immediately point it out. But yeah, she goes heavy into there, and she doesn't even, and even that's not all the detail of what was done to us, and it's bad. For example, with the audio recording of John in the What Would You Do for a Klondike Bar, that's about the first third of that session. That was just the beginning of the session, and you saw rapidly how bad it got. After that, it continues on, and it's worse. It's worse. So we do try to be very sensitive to you guys and try to not to trigger you while still dealing with the trauma in what we hope is an open and educational and, oh my God, I get it, type of thing, where you're going, oh yes, this happened to us. And from the comments, we're hitting that mark. Again, I'm not sure if we had a thought here, but let's see, like that to me. I have not. Okay, so yeah, so trigger warnings, Bucky, and the rest is, or anybody else as well. Trigger warning on that stuff. Take them seriously. Let's see, 420, I love 80s goth looks. I get it's not a comfortable thing for the system, but I do vibe with the 80s goth look. It's mainly that we haven't found any clothes for her to do that. And to be honest, it's not like we've tried uber hard. Yeah, be pissed at us if you want, okay, but we keep telling you every time that we go by the women's section, she's like, oh, that would look so cute or what, and we have to remind her, no, we have an overweight 50s male body. We cannot fit into that two-piece swimsuit, and we wouldn't even try. It's just because she perceives the body as our young, svelte teenage self, when we could have fit into those things, but she sees herself as, that's how she perceives the body, like how Christopher perceives the body as, being 2, 3, 4 years old, depending upon which Christopher we're talking about. Which is another reason why we will, twice every month, we will shave everything, other than the head, but everything else goes, because this is how they identify with the body image. And we've discovered early on in therapy that one of the surest ways that they would snap out of it would be to look down at the hands or look at the arms and see the hair there, because they're physically, it's like with Christopher, he's seeing 4-year-old arms, and then all of a sudden the perspective shifts, and he's looking at the hair, and that's enough to snap him out, as it were, which creates a hard switch, which creates a TITH headache for us. So it's weird how that works. But we have discovered, it's like in the night with DID, Mimi's bitching about shaving the legs. Well, after that, and we just decided, okay, we figured it out where the connections were coming from, and it's like, you know what? Shaving is an equitable sacrifice or thing to do on our part in order to make everyone else feel more comfortable. For example, we've noticed that when we don't shave for several days, we got maybe a day's worth of stubble here, but when we allow our beard to grow, bootstraps comes more to the forefront. When we're shaved and smooth and everything, the littles and whatnot come more to the forefront. So it's interesting that we're seeing this intersystem play with our appearance, because we still don't like to look in the mirror. I mean, just watching ourselves here on the cell phone as we live stream is uncomfortable enough. But we found that is a good meeting in the middle. I can't think of the word that I'm compromise. There we go. So we're going to stop meandering on. Oh yeah, 80s goth look. So yeah, she needs her wardrobe. Mimi reminds me of one of our teenagers die, similar style and personality. Hope she's doing okay now. Mimi is as Mimi does. She holds all the trauma, but she's also incredibly matter of fact about it. It's just like, yeah, it happened. Do you want the details? I can tell you every single last thing that happened if you really want. It's like that's Mimi. She's like, just she's affected by it, but that wall of bravado is so high. She pretends that she's, shut up, I'm talking now. She's going, I just got a door slammed in my face. She pretends that she is more affected by the trauma than she lets on. But that's part of the persona. That's part of who she is. So yeah, I mean, she's doing okay as the rest of us. That's about the most honest way. Let's see here. Love the 80s period. Sigil could be fun to sort of look for things that give her happy brain chemicals. Could even record it if y'all feel up to it. So like one of those perspective ones. Okay, that's a thought. That's a thought. You've given us a solid one. We'll move that to the head of the line there, at least as far as the experiences go. Thank you for that, Sigil. Okay, Sad Doggo, well, except Doll is highly attached. Is highly attached to the 2000s. She wants to, if she wants to, of course, yeah. Mimi will be out on that. It's like, love that idea. We do that with some of our system members who don't know fun or nice things. Yes. How weird is it that we're over 50 years old and we're only now having to learn how to have fun and how to be happy? And yeah, it's both such mixed emotions. It sucks. Okay, let's see. Never wonder. Maybe buy her an outfit or some nice shoes that are her style. And you mean boots, and some makeup or a wig. She has a wig. Anything that makes her feel more her might help her feel more accepted. Yeah, we need a corset. We need to custom make ourselves a corset, which is full within our capabilities to do so, because we used to sew our own garb for the SCA and Renaissance Fair. So we're actually quite a dab hand with a needle. Let's see here. So yeah, we have been making those things. Sigil says, yeah, we have been using Pinterest to get to know May. It's been helping us communicate and find things we like in the real world. If it's in the privacy of your own home, though, wouldn't it be okay for her then? Yes, it would, and is. But even so, you have to understand we are covert, and even within the house, because the weird train of logic runs like this, and we know that it's not valid. Okay, let's get that disclaimer out of the way first. We know that this is purely our hang-up, but we are still not reconnecting thing. I know I am not comfortable with that yet. And it may, from everything from allowing Christopher, one of the littles, or Susie to front to play, which we don't do enough of. We're very bad about that. We should be letting the littles out more than we do. And we do, I will admit that we do repress them a little bit, or at least parts of us do. This is one of these soupy areas. We're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. But that's also part of the scheduling process that we were talking about earlier, is scheduling little's time and then keeping to it.
But it is real easy for me or for the system as a whole, whoever is fronting, to not want to take that risk, to be fully somebody else around because the rest of the family, because we always feel like we're impinging. Like, oh God, here's crazy dad doing this crazy dad thing again. How am I supposed to react to this? Even though they're accepting, even though they don't look at it that way, even though they treat them as individuals, there is still that fear and that ingrained trauma response to hide. So this is why when Mimi fronts to do one of these things, it's like 1:32 in the morning and our wife is asleep in the other room. It's not that Mimi doesn't want to be. It's a big ball of mixed things, but it boils down to TLDR, because we're still not comfortable even around our family members, and that is the God's honest truth about it. That's just where we're at, and it has gotten easier over the course of time for me, since I'm the host and the front most of the time with Data. It has, and trust me, Data is a control freak. Oh, he does not like to not be upfront, because that's been his job, as recorder and slash gatekeeper. But for me, it's tough, because unless somebody exerts the influence to take over the front from me and hard switch, which we don't do anymore because we finally got it through our heads that it's not polite, that it's very rude to the rest of us, and it also instantly gives us a nasty headache, that it's just better to cooperate. Just lost that same train of thought. Let's go on to the comments. Let's see here. Oh, for fuck's sake. Wow. 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 Yes, we'll be off soon, and well, it's only 3, dude. You pee on my green screen and I will end you, though. Not really, but I will not be happy. Here, come here, give a cat bomb. Oh, your boy. Cat bomb. This is Chocho, otherwise known as Cheddar. Say hi. Say meow. Meow. Hey, Culvers. Turns out he was there with us the whole time. Okay. Let's see here. So yeah, in the privacy, yes, but it's complicated. Never wonder. Let's see here. Blue Rose, yes, we have that perspective switch too. When we look at our body, the hard switch is not nice. No. Nice long black hooded dress with thumb holes and some accessories would be nice for Mimi. Could always put a tutu or some other bits on top of it and use it as a base. Yeah, tutu's not for not for her. Let's see. She put it last time. The goody girl look isn't for her. Let's see here. Never Wonder saying it really helped us to get some cis members to open up to us and also feel more comfortable in the body we're stuck with. We try to let them express themselves freely. Too old to care anymore. We hear you. It's just, I'm not comfortable with it yet. I'm still coming to terms with that, and unfortunately, some of the other system members are paying the price because of it. But again, we started off more or less as a coherent whole, and we're now separating while still maintaining, more or less. Well, instead of hodgepodging functionality, now we're finally figuring out who does what so we can separate it out and work together better as a whole, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Let's see. Stephen, to how to have fun would be a great video series. Yeah, and that's actually something that we've contemplated, but we are not going to show the littles on camera. John and the audio was the closest you're ever going to get to that. That's something that's just not going to happen, because it's like we actually thought have toyed with the idea of several times of having like a POV of Christopher playing with toys or something, but it's like, okay, how exactly the hell would that work? But it's one of these where the idea may never come to fruition because of the technical difficulties involved. But that's an interesting idea. We'll have to do some research. Well, you guys are just full of great ideas today. Oh, no. Grace to Grow, my dear one has a similar pattern, Ray, whether he has a beard or not. Very fascinating, yeah. And our therapist told us that's actually pretty common. Let's see, never wonder, though. There you go. That probably would mean even more knowing that the system handmade it for her. That's a great idea, yeah. Very hard for us as well. Please know that we aren't dismissing the fear at all. We do our best to try to remove the mask at home as we've lived in the shadows for long enough. For now, it's our time to feel free and be happy. Yeah, we get what you're saying, and thank you. It's just, we're not there. I'm not there on that point in the journey yet. And yeah, we kind of learned early on not to try to put expectations on ourselves or push. And this was something that our therapist told us again and again and again and again and again, until we finally learned. So, but we get you. We understand. And at some point, hopefully, we'll be more open about that. We think we are because part of it is that, we've had the kids in the house until now. And now finally the nest is starting to empty out a bit. So maybe that will lead to more comfort on our part. And also, and here's the big fear at the center of it for me, Chris, individually, I am afraid that if I hard switch or I allow the others to come to the front, that I may not come back. That I may not find my way back to the front, or that they may not call me back to the front, because I'm not sure exactly how it works. Because most of the time I'm floating around somewhere back here when somebody else is up front. But when they come back, the memory drain happens. But I am deeply, deeply afraid of not coming back, of finding out that I am just another alter, that in fact I'm not the host or I'm not the core. No matter what our therapist said to the otherwise, she was absolutely convinced that I am. But that's good for her to say. It's another thing for me to believe it. So yeah, it's driven by a lot of fear. I'll freely admit that. I'll admit it. Let's see, Sigil. Oh, would she be interested in a doll? She could do the fashion stuff she likes without. No, afraid not. 13-year-old girl. Remember, dolls are not Bob. Yeah, I get that. We got bow ties for a part. They only worn them once. It feels embarrassing. Percival, he wears bow ties. That's the only type of tie he'll wear. The rest of us won't wear ties at all because trauma. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Yeah, take that out how you want to. Let's see. Okay, burning through the shadow. Hello. Does anyone have a part that causes eating issues by causing a choking sensation? Been having a very hard time eating food. Sometimes just thinking about food causes the choking sensation. We have not had that within our system. Maybe somebody else here might have some answers there for you. Unfortunately, we can't speak to that one. It would not surprise us, but we haven't experienced that directly. So if anybody here has had that happen or has one of your system members experience that, please let Burning Through the Shadow know there. Thanks, guys. Yes, I've caught up to where the kitty appears. Yes, kitty. Oxy saying they're dissociating somewhat. Better off to bed. Have a nice day. Good night. Get some rest, Oxy. Thanks for popping in. Steven, cat peas on green screen is now blue screen, so increased production quality. I've actually debated using blue instead of green, but there's more blue in our wardrobe than I've tried both, but the green is just the best solution. But yeah, that's funny. Let's see here. Have a great night. Oxy, saying bye to Oxy. Grace to Grow. We have a full inventory of makeup and body wash fragrances that are special for my Dio's Femi, who we think is a teenage age slider too. Yeah, we do have little things. 420. Oh, yes. The Starry Girl and Naomi were both here on this stream, 420. Starry Girl has been working. She's on vacation right now. So yay, going on vacation. And Naomi is... you can go back and watch the beginning of the stream, but the TLDR is that she has now gotten acceptance from it's legit. She's now got the DX from the government. She has been found to be officially disabled and is getting some income from that. Unfortunately, her husband is not being as accepting as he could be. So that's basically what she had to report for us today. But yeah, they both popped in, and at least there's been some minimal movement on both parts. But yeah, Starry Girl has been concentrating more on getting, you know, the job situation and whatnot under control, and you know, but now that she's on vacation, or they're on vacation, and well deserved. Enjoy. So yeah, that's where that's out. 420. Let's see. Never wonder. Totally respect that feeling 1,000%. Yeah. Yes, they're both here. Okay. 420 saying forget the two-toe, then long hooded dress as a base. Yeah, I know the style that you're thinking of. She's already picked out what she wants to wear. It's just a question of us affording it. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Not even a ball joint doll. They're pretty heckin' fancy. No. Dolls are classified under the category of toys, and that's the toys. Okay, just trust us on this. It's not going to work. Let's see here. Sigil also imagine it's harder as a male to wear girl clothes because society, yeah, where it's easier for myself in a female body to wear guy clothes. Yeah, that's actually where you guys who do have the feminine body, it's easier on you because your alters can, you know, be male and be out in public, where ours, there's a much greater stigma on that, and a much greater danger outright. But yeah, unfortunately, there is that. So maybe a small benefit for you guys. I guess it kind of all evens out. But yeah, that's a very astute observation, Sigil, and you're absolutely correct. Let's see, 420. Oh, forgot today. I have news. My therapy sessions have started. No longer just phone check-ins. Finally seeing someone. Excellent. Great news. Great news. Great news. Never wonder system. Everyone has to heal at their own pace and do what works best for them. It'll happen when and if your system becomes ready to take that step, and may very well change with the kids off on their own. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much where it's at, you know, and at least we're honest about it. That too, that's great news. 421. Oh, good news for Starry and some good news for Naomi. I'm happy for them all. Yeah, absolutely. And that looks like we're about caught up here. When do we start? We're going to go ahead and close out the stream, guys. We are getting really kind of hungry, and you know that our food patterns are wiggity whack as it is anyway. It's been a great stream today. Okay, so let's. So if you have any questions or thoughts or comments you want to make, go ahead and drop them down there. We've been going for about 2.5 hours or so. But we are getting hungry hippos here. Let's see. So hit us up with any questions or whatnot that you may have. And also, as a thank you and a welcome to, we're not sure how many of you are on here. We only got 16 at the moment. But for those who are watching this afterwards, new members to the channel, new viewers to the channel, welcome. Thanks for choosing to watch the Infinity System. Please take the time to watch our introductory video where we cover exactly who we are, what we are, and the types of content that we produce. Because it can be very varied and a little bit confusing for folks who are new to the channel, the way that we, you know, have things laid out. So please be sure to go ahead and watch that. Please be aware that if we mark something with a trigger warning, take it seriously, because we don't pull our punches, and we expect you to watch with viewer discretion when we advise it. Let's see, coming up this next month, we've got a new Little's story, and more than likely another episode after that. We've had some great ideas today, so that's where we're at. And of course, we'll have our monthly stream. We're going to go over the rules real quick for those of you who are new, because these apply to the comments section as well. Across our channel, rule number 1, you have the right to your opinion. Rule number 2, you have the right to express your opinion. Rule number 3, you do not have the right to inflict your opinion or abuse others with it. Don't talk about sex, religion, or politics unless it's endemic to the conversation, in which case that should only be sex. And don't troll us, don't post porn links, things like that. Also, when you're watching the content, please keep your littles, keep them under your wing, because as before we've mentioned, we do cover very serious content, and we know that they do pop out from time to time. Little Stories is a safe space specifically for them, so let them watch that to their heart's content. But with the rest of our content, please be advised that we do, put up those trigger warnings for a reason. So those are the rules. Those are the things. We're going to go ahead and check the chat log here to see what your last minute questions or comments are. And then we'll go ahead and close out after that. But again, thanks. We've had a huge influx of new people. We're glad to see you here. Feel free to comment or post on anything. We don't worry about necro posting or whatnot. So if you watch a piece of content from years ago and want to drop your thoughts, please feel free to do so. We're always very open about answering back to the comments, and we do read them every one, which brings us up to the last thing. We use the heart function a little bit differently than other channels. If you get a heart from us on a comment, it means that we have seen your comment and we were there, we seen it, we heard your point of view. If we have time and we feel it necessary to comment back, we will. But don't take the heart necessarily as an agreement with what you might happen to be saying. It's just thank you for commenting. We hear you. Thank you for following the rules. So that's how we kind of do that. Double purpose thing there that might be a little bit confusing. So let's get back to here. Choose your comment here. Suddenly I am talking in a pseudo weird accent. Just teasing. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you for streaming. You're welcome, Stephen. Anytime. You guys are always welcome. Thanks for the stream again. Really appreciate this. Grace to Grow says they dressed up for Halloween one year and Femi was a dolled up girlie. Gave my sweetheart the chance to let Femi express him herself in public. Walmart. That's gutsy. And it was delightful. Yeah, actually, the first time that Mimi fully fronted was Halloween, and kind of had a bit of a Halloween party with our daughters. We still don't remember anything about it other than she was out because she keeps close her memories. Okay, let's see here. So that's a great idea with Halloween. Sad Doggo, very good stream, some good conversations happening today, or as I'm sure Anton from earlier would have said, good vibes. Excellent. Well, thank you, Sad Doggo, and Anton, and whoever else might be there. Never Wonder System, have an amazing weekend and month. Thanks so much for the stream and chat. Everyone have a good month. Very productive stream. Good night from this side of the pound. I think you mean the pond. Let's see. Oh my God, Halloween is also a good idea for an occasion for dress up. Yep, absolutely. Always appreciate your channel, Chris et al. Thank you very much. Love to everyone. And here is a great community. It's a great community because you guys have made it a great community. It's not about us. It's about you guys. That's why we run these live streams as a forum rather than a direct Q&A, because you guys are building the community and helping each other. We're just the pond. So thank you for that. Sending witchy hugs, love, and blessings. And I think that's it here. Love that, Anton. Good vibes. Hope you have a lovely day and night. Yep, absolutely. Alrighty, guys. We will catch you on the flip side. And as always, say it with us. We remind you that you are loved, that you are strong, and that you are not alone. This is Chris and the rest of the Infinity System signing off. We'll catch you guys next time. Night, guys.